I think we live. Well, grand rising, grand rising, grand rising to everybody on this Monday morning. Welcome to a brand new episode of the Brain Matter Morning Show live, brought to you in part by Brain Matter Studios and Stop Hate Productions. So grand rising to everybody this morning. Motivational Monday. First and foremost, before I start off, I want to give a shout out to the Most High for allowing me to use my voice as an instrument to not only encourage me, but to encourage others. So, shouts out to the Creator this morning. Grand rising, everybody. Grand rising. Hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. And this was the opening weekend for the playoffs. So, it was a lot of good games, a lot of grueling games, and a lot of unexpectancies, I would say, as far as you thought this team was going to win, but that team won. And, you know, the way the NBA is structured now, it's kind of a good thing because all teams have qualifying and promising athletes to not only get to the conference finals, but also a probability to win a championship through the talent that they have. So it's very entertaining. So go to Sports Center or go to my page or go wherever you want to go, wherever you get your sports from, and check out some of the highlights and some of the things that went on this weekend. I got to give a shout out to my, you know what I'm saying? I mean, just being real, y'all know I'm an Oklahoma City Thunder fan, you know, maybe next year, but you know, so I give credit where credit is due. And I want to give a shout out this morning to, De'Aaron Fox from the Sacramento Kings, because, oh man, I just, you know what I mean, a young phenom, you know what I'm saying, watching the game evolve from out of the era where I come until now, and seeing young players like De'Aaron Fox, the way he put on an explosive performance against the Golden State Warriors and an impressive victory over the Golden State Warriors. Kept that defense on him. So shouts out to De'Aaron Fox and the Sacramento Kings for all the hard work that they put in on yesterday. All right, moving right along. What we talked about on Friday, we talked about the bill for regret, part one. The shoulda, coulda, woulda. And I broke it down into certain elements to where we talked about time, money, and emotion. Things that you pay once you start paying the bill for regret. And I remind you, you know what I'm saying, by me being in my 40s, that put me in the pivot point of life. So I have lived a little life and I have a lot more life to live. So knowing what I've been through in the first 20 years, now that I'm at the pivot, will help ease some of the uncertainties as I go along in life. And I hope to do the same for you. So that's what we talked about on Friday. But today is Monday. And this motivational moment comes from really just out of the air, because this is how I do it. You know, you won't hear this again, but you're going to hear it now. Don't allow people to place their fears on you. And don't allow people to place their fears of what they think you can't do on you either. But they'll disguise it. I was talking about this with my children's mother, you know what I'm saying, the other day. And matter of fact, it was Saturday. And we covered something like that because, you know what I'm saying, people do good in life. People that work hard, people that don't think they're better than nobody, and people that see life as life supposed to be seen. People have a right to, you know what I'm saying, give their family, you know what I'm saying, the life that they want. See, it's no longer about the life that you didn't have. It's about the life that you want and the life that you need to live moving forward. So we no longer sit around and talk about life and things that we don't have, because that's in the past. We sit around and talk about things that we can do to modify our future and make our present feel just a little bit better. So as we had this conversation on Saturday, I had to remind her, you know what I'm saying, everybody ain't happy for you. Some people don't want to see you have nothing. And really and truly, we was going over the wolf in sheep's clothing. You got to be careful because people will disguise good deeds over cruel intentions. So you got to be mindful of who you tell your business to and how much energy you put out that proceeds around you. Because you think they'll be rooting for you, but they'll be rooting against you. And this is something that I discussed with her on Saturday because it needs to be a broad understanding, which leads into, the topic of what I'm going to cover today. And when you get to a place in life, you have a right and an honor and a duty to feel good about what you do, no matter who you are and what you do. So don't allow people to place their fears on you. And don't let them allow you to place their fears of what they think you can't do on you either. See, I didn't say nothing about the fears that you have for yourself, because as life goes, y'all already know it's hard enough to have the courage to face your own fears. And this type of activity, it does take practice. It doesn't happen overnight. It does take a little life experience. But also it takes a lot of just sitting around and learning how to listen. Something that I wish I'd have done more with the people that's now gone in my life. And now I see some of the things that they say that go on in life that was true, that was back then. And really and truly, it was like we talked about on Friday, a lighthouse, a guiding light. So whether I'm still here or whether I'm gone, you'll still hold on to what we talked about. So that says it all in itself. So this motivational moment comes, like I said, out of the air. Don't allow people to place their fears on you. And don't allow people to place their fears of what they think you can't do on you either. And that is the motivational moment. Now, what we're going to talk about today, because see, like I told y'all on Friday and beforehand, I got to break this up into, different segments, because if I tried to do it all at one time, it'd be hard to digest, because quite frankly, I wouldn't sit there and listen to all of it either, because it'd be too much to take in at one time. See, even I've discovered not to do that to you or not to myself. So I don't do it. So, today we're going to talk about the bill for regret. Part 2, knowing your worth. Now, I'm going to go over here to this other phone I got, and I pulled up the definition for worth. Give me the definition for worth.
Here's the definition of worth: equivalent in value to the sum or item specified.
All right. So, the first definition that Wikipedia gave me is equivalent in value to the sum or item specified. The second one is significantly good, important, or interested to be treated or regarded in the way specified. Because I got a lot of definitions, but I always find the one that I like, and I find the one that I think that is appealing to you, which is my audience. So I try to find the definition that outlines what I'm talking about. Okay, so here it is. This is the one I want. It's a noun. Worth is a noun. The level at which someone or something deserves to be valued or rated. They had to listen to every piece of the gossip to judge for what it's worth. Okay, that's the outline example that they give you for that. But it says what it says. The level at which someone or something deserves to be valued or rated. Okay, so there it is. That's the definition. But in my theory, it says what it says. Now, I was talking to somebody this morning, Subway Ricky. Shouts out to Subway Ricky and Scraps Metal Pulling. And I asked him a question. I said, do you think that if people really actually know their worth, would they strive and would they achieve harder? And his answer was to that, well, I hope so. Because he's lived long enough to see the ups and downs of life. And he knows that knowing your worth at this point in life is very vital and very important. Now, let's talk about it from an individual standpoint. Up until a couple of months ago, or even a couple of days ago, I just figured out what my worth was. I just figured out what my worth was. And it didn't take, a whole lot of me losing everything I got, say that right there. It just took a simple frequency check. It just took a frequency check. And once I realized what it was, I started to think a little different just that fast. And then the value of what I do, it started to go up to me. Higher and higher to an exponential growth. To the point where it spills over into the effort and energy that I need to make this thing happen. And even realizing that as an individual, I got to do it. If I want it done, I got to do it. And am I willing to do it? Of course I am. Knowing your worth. But let me tell you something about knowing your worth that really just make it feel so genuine once you realize what it is. You go through a lot of pain. You go through a lot of pain to remain the same. You go through a lot of pain because the pain turns into gain. The gain for oneself. And once you learn your worth, you'll start to pull in to the ideals of what makes you successful. And I know what a lot of people say, And some of it is true. Life is hard. Stuff do get in the way. Ups and downs do happen. But knowing your worth is key and vital in today's society, because the opportunity for you to have what you want is now just so open to the point to where you can have what you want with no excuse. But knowing your worth takes sacrifice, because the belief that you're seeking must be it within oneself. See, when I first started this podcast, I started it with good intentions, but I had the wrong perception. But I had to grow, and I had to understand what wisdom, knowledge, and understanding really is, and then really understand what it is that I'm really doing. I had to understand that. And it's going to be days, like I said 2 weeks ago in another episode, it's going to be days you're going to have to do it by yourself. It ain't going to be days. It's going to be days, ain't nobody going to be there but you and your thoughts. And guess what you got to do? That's a part of knowing your worth. And that really strengthens and magnifies it even more when times that you feel like you ain't felt, or you want somebody to do this, that it activates that more, because it unites and it ignites the self-worth that you have in yourself. And then, you know what? I stopped cussing on my podcast just a little bit. I still say a couple of cuss words every now and then. You know what I'm saying? I do it only not just to strengthen my point. But I got to remember, I have a lot of younger listeners that listen to the show also. So I have to be mindful of that. And language is very important. And I'm intelligent enough to be able to get my point across without using that kind of language. And now, you know, that's a part of knowing my worth. Because knowing my worth, that makes me more proficient to be able to reach out to my listeners to get them to understand what it is that I'm trying to do. Because if knowing your worth is something that you don't know, you know now. And if not today, we're in the 18th minute. I'm going to teach you in 3 short steps how to know your worth. And it ain't going to cost you a dime. And it's totally free. And that's the good part about it. If you ain't listening, and if you are going to listen, you can go back and play this as many times as you want to. And with these 3 steps, you can take step 3 and make it step 1, or you can take step 1. You can do whatever you want to do with it, because by this being philosophical, it's a multiculturalistic mindset. So me and my listeners, we have the ability to think all kind of ways and just make it work. So I'm going to teach you this morning, right here on the Brain Matter Morning Show live, how to know your worth. Now, before we do that, I got an announcement to make. You know what I'm saying? And this is something that needs to be done, but it should get done. I also have a Twitch channel, Brain Matter 40. You can ease on there, and you can watch, you know what I'm saying, me play, you know what I'm saying, The Last of Us Part 1, or any other video games, but the interaction, you know what I'm saying, once the channel grows, because I'm going to add some more stuff to it, because once I got my certificate of ownership, and now that I own Brain Matter Studios, I have the ability to take what I have and expand it into other ventures, not just for the profit, because the profit is already there, because I'm a hustler. So You gotta worry about making no money, because when you know how to hustle, that's the same thing as knowing how to fish. If you know how to do it, you don't worry about it when you gotta do it. But anyway, you got the Twitch channel popping, you know what I'm saying? So you can go in there, Brain about 40. You know what I'm saying? Check out some of the latest. I'm gonna add some more stuff to it as it grows. But I'm just letting y'all know that is something coming in the near future. Plus, we're gonna have videos and all that other kind of good stuff. So tune in for that, and everything will be fine. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just how we do it over here at the Brand Matter Morning Show. We don't tear people down, we build them up. So me and all my affiliates, we're going to be shifting over there. Now, you know, we talked about that certificate of ownership, so you can go back and catch that episode and any other episode that you have missed of the Brand Matter Morning Show Live right here on the Podbean Network and also on Spotify. And wherever you get your podcast from. Because the Brain Matter Studios is set up over three distribution networks, which covers 13 or 14 other networks worldwide. If you go back and catch some of the episodes, you'll know how I did it, because I told you. Every step of the way to where I got to where I'm at, I have dropped jewels, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding on how I got to this point. Because there's no closed door on my effort to the success of what I want. And I share it with everybody. I share it with everybody. So every step that I done took to the success, the way I'm at right now, you can catch it on the show, because I done dropped it. Season 1, Season 2, especially in Season 2. And now we got Season 3 rolling up through here. Now we got Season 3 rolling up through here. And like I said, it's spread out over 3 distribution networks, which covers 13 networks. Unique listeners. 94, 95 unique listeners on Podbean. Over 1,000 on Spotify Live. Uniquely Spotify, 27 new listeners every day. But worldwide, over 2.7 million people listen to the Brain Matter Morning Show. Worldwide. So don't tell me it can't be done. Don't tell me what you got inside of you can't come. Don't tell me that. Because I am proof. And if you look around me, I got other proof. That's what made me proof. So don't tell me it can't be done. Like I tell you all the time, trust the process. But most importantly, be patient with the process too. I done come a long way. And I don't plan on stopping no time soon. So you can make what happens inside of you, you can bring it to life. All you need to know is just a couple of steps. So you ain't got to worry about nobody being by your side or somebody being there. All you got to do is just get up and do it. And if you use social media and work it how you're supposed to work it when you need to work it, get what? It'll turn out for your benefit. It'll match your hustle. And you can expand and you can grow. You don't need no marketing team. You are the marketing team. You are the marketing team. You are the publishing team. All the commercials I do for my brothers and my sisters and all that there, I do it myself. I just change my voice and make it sound cool. Because it's innovative, it's creative, and it's new. So don't tell me it can't be done now. Don't tell me it can't be done. Shoot, please, man, don't do that. Mm-mm. Yeah. And when you legalize it and do it the right way, it make it feel just that much better. Take the steps. I'll give you some more later on. And as you know, the season go on, you don't drop some more jewels. Because there's more things I got to do to go ahead on and solidify brain matter to the level the way I want it. It's a lot of more stuff I got to do. Legally. But am I proud of myself for the progress I done made this for? You damn right I am. Because I made sacrifices. And I took the beam off of looking for support and just went out and found it and got surrounded by it worldwide. Simple as that. But here we go. Knowing your worth, number one. Number one. Look inside yourself and see what it is about you that makes you smile. Step one. Look inside yourself and see what it is in you that makes you smile. That makes you feel good about yourself. To make you want to get up and put forth the effort to do what it is that you think that makes you successful. And over time, the feeling will grow. And then you'll get an idea or a clue what it is that you want to do. But that's step one. Just look inside yourself and see what it is that's in you that makes you smile. Oh yeah. That's all. I ain't tell you to go out and get this and get that. No, you ain't got to go to no little supermarket. No, you ain't got to call no one. No. That's simple. Simple. That's the simplest thing you can do. Just look inside yourself and see what it is about you to make you smile. And that is step one to knowing your worth. Now, what it'll start to do if you practice this every day or whenever you feel like doing it, because it's free. It creates energy and creates purpose. And it puts purpose back into the purpose if purpose was taken out of it. So that's step one. That's step one. Just do that. And no, I don't have it wrote down in no book or, you know what I'm saying? I just actually just thought this up right before I got ready to do the show. And you know, that's mostly how I do most of my shows. It just, when I get ready to do it, it just comes natural. I don't try to force it. I might have something that I plan to talk about, but by the time I get to the show, it might switch to something else. So I guess that's the multiculturalism, a multiculturalistic, however you want to put it. I guess that's that. But I enjoy it. But yeah, that's step one. Step one. The step one to knowing your worth is looking inside yourself and see what it is about you that makes you smile. Facts. Step two. Step two. It's not a hard one, but it might take a little bit more practice than the first one. Measure your effort versus what it is the purpose that you put in place to obtain success. I'll say that again. Measure your effort against the purpose of what it is you're trying to be successful. Now, I'm going to step in it a little bit, but not too much. When you're measuring your effort, you measure what it is that takes your effort to obtain what it is that you're trying to obtain. And if the measurement doesn't match the frequency of what it is that it is you're trying to do, or you feel like someone or something is working actively against your purpose, then you discard it. You get rid of it. And it's a reason why I said it like that. It's the reason why I said it like that. It's a reason why I said it just like that. Because if every time that it is time for you to take it to the next level, and no matter what it is, whether it's people, your job, situation, circumstance, if every time through frequency that you get the dollar the benefit, then it's time to do something different. It's time to do something different. And reason being is it's time to do something different is because it's not working. So step two, measure your energy toward the purpose of what you think it is that you got to do to make it successful. And that's a deep one. Because see, jobs and all kind of opportunities out there tie into it for you to be here to get there.
All right, I apologize, my listeners. I apologize, but do that such thing. Step 2. Now, step 3 is the easy one, but it's not as easy as hard people try to make it out to be. Step 3 in the knowing your worth is just do your thing. Just do it. Just do it. Because the only thing to fear is fear itself. So just get out here and do it, man. It's easy. Couple of steps, couple of this, couple of that, but it could be achieved. Now, I could have gave you this great big old speech about, like, no, I ain't gonna do all that. Cause it don't take all that. You just take them 3 simple steps right there to know your worth. And when you know your worth, you'll put yourself in a position to be able to help yourself and to help others. See, I just started this like I was telling my business partner the other day. The purpose for this is not to ride around in fancy cars, smoke cigars, and you know what I'm saying, and try to make somebody like me for something that don't know me, or you know what I'm saying, just try to know. I ain't doing it for that purpose. Cause half of that stuff I already do anyway. And I'm known around the world anyway, so ain't no need for all that. But knowing my worth makes me put effort more into what it is that I want to do, which is put myself in a position to be able to live life the way I want to live it for the rest of it, based off the knowledge that I did for the first 20 years. And, you know, it's like a domino effect because, see, what you learn in the first 20 years, once you get 40, it covers you for the next 40 and beyond. See, it adds 20 years to your life once you get 40. See, your life expectancy go up. See, but now I'm going to tell you something a lot of folks don't tell you. And then you ain't got to go to no doctor. You ain't got to go to no physician. You ain't got to go to no pastor. You come right here to the Brain Matter Morning Show, and I'm going to tell you how to add life to your life. Check this out now. Let me see how many people going to say, I went to the doctor and he ain't even tell me that. Check this out real quick. And then we're going to get on out of here because we're at the 40th minute. But this is how you add life expectancy to your life. And you can do this when you're in your 50s, your 60s. You can do this whenever you want to do it. But primarily, in your 40s. When you get to be 40 years old and beyond, you can sit down and have a self-evaluation with yourself about the first 20 years or so that you lived. So what you learn in those first 20 years about life, no matter how it came, good, bad, ugly, upside down, flip the spectrum, dark days, light days, no matter how it came, you learn how to live. You learn how to live to get you to the pivot point of your life. Now, once you get to the pivot point of your life, which is early 40s or however, wherever it hits you at, what you learn in the first 20 years of your life will cover you for the next 40 years or so of your life. Simple. Because we all make mistakes. Nobody's exempt from making no mistake, but you learn how to make less mistakes as you get older. You learn how to eat better, you learn how to talk better, and you learn how to live better. And that's the masses of people. The majority of people is what you see in front of you. So for those who are philosophical and those who are sitting and just wonder what I just said, they'll tell you what I just said. So your life expectancy goes up once you get wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. And that's the show, ladies and gentlemen. Hope y'all had fun today. Hope what I said helped somebody like it helped me. I want to thank all my listeners, followers, family, and friends for allowing me the privilege of some of your time to talk about something that is so divine. So thank you for supporting this podcast. Even if you don't give any money, thank you for listening. Because that's support in itself. Thank you for the follows all around the world. Because follows are free. It just takes the click of a button. So thank y'all for following this podcast. So on this motivational Monday, know your worth. Know your worth. Do not allow people to place their fears on you. And do not allow people to place their fears of what they think you can't do on you either. So there it is, ladies and gentlemen. And that is the show for today. So y'all good. Be blessed. Less stressed. Stay hydrated. Stay motivated. Stay dedicated. But most of all, stay together. If not within oneself, with each other. Because it's strength in numbers. And if that's not anything else, we will see y'all Wednesday morning. Same time, same place. Look out for further announcements and look out for the expansion because it is on the way. Y'all be good. Aircraft Crowley, signing off.